Welcome back to another episode of Deadline Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Scotty Tudati, and we're back again with another Wisdom Wednesday. But before we get into today's video, as always, the business at hand, the task at hand, like, share, subscribe. And also, from now until the end of 2025, I'm doing commission-based DJing. Anybody having a event that would like DJ Sky Tudati to be there and turning up, please feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, that information. But also email me at djsky2daddy@gmail.com. Or you can contact me through Facebook at the same name, DJ Scotty Tudati, or on TikTok or on here. Just reach out, make sure that I'm notified that you have a party, event, a bar mitzvah, whatever. And I'll make sure I pull up and turn it up. But now to the reason why you clicked on today's video. Today and for this week's Wisdom Wednesday, we are talking about social construct. A lot of people may not know what social constructs are because it's kind of like ingrained into society as a very loud but um, incognito way of living that we all kind of automatically live. And in today's video, we're gonna touch bases, but also kind of add some different elements and some individual points that can help you kind of unsubscribe to the run-of-the-mill way of thinking or run-of-the-mill way of viewing life and the run-of-the-mill of certain things that are ingrained in this construction of social living. So without further ado, let's get into what social construct is. So my source is Wikipedia is where I'm reading this from. And no, that's not the most credible, but with this, topic, is pretty accurate, as accurate as any other website. But without further ado, a social construct is any category or thing that is made real by conviction or collective agreement. Socially constructed realities are contrast with natural kinds, which exist independently of human behavior or beliefs. Simple examples of social constructs are the meaning of words and the value of paper money. Other examples, such as race, were formerly considered controversial but are now accepted by the consensus of scientists to be socially constructed rather than naturally determined. Since other possible examples, such as concepts that make up scientific theories, remain the subject of ongoing philosophical debate. So, you know, that's a lot to take in there, pause. So let me give you guys some more examples of social constructive constructs. So social constructs are gender, disability, race, government, family, diseases, age, fashion, money, religion, beauty, pretty much anything. Culture, economics, greetings, marriages, nationalities, social classes, and even time. So pretty much, like I said in the beginning, a lot of this is kind of just is default. It's a default balance of human existence that we all subscribe to. And with that being said, like I said in this video, I'm gonna kind of put my own spin and kind of my own kind of theology and my own different way of viewing this into a more greater perspective to help you guys kind of weed out what's pertinent, because I feel like we try to, you know, put all this in the same category and construct our reality so heavily and put so much emphasis on um all these things, and I feel like, it's just like with anything, it needs balance. And when it's not balanced, it's imbalance, and that creates different things taking place to where you put more value in things that really don't have value. So um yeah, with all this being said, I feel like, after researching this topic and just kind of just seeing like where we are at on this timeline of reality. And I know in this topic, that's pretty much the premise, like, how we perceive things, the realness of it, the things being you know, genuine. And that's kind of debated because of the fact that, us as human beings, like I said on previous videos, we have a ambition, we have a deep drive to make God subservient. Um, I feel like we have, since the beginning of time, since Adam and Eve, we have us being human beings, we have always wanted to test boundaries. We always wanted to test boundaries, and once we break the boundaries, it kind of brings in things that um causes things to happen that make things a certain way, and now we get to make the rules, quote unquote, on what this is and what is not. So um I don't know why it is um so predominant that we're only creatures that God has made, that we have that ambition. You don't see lions, tigers, and bears saying, "How can we make humans subservient?" Because why? They naturally exist in their environment. They naturally know how to um, naturally know how to live and instinctively know how to live. We're the only creations that we I guess we get idle time, and then that we get bored with what's naturally around us, what's naturally has been just given to us in abundance. We want to, again, want to make things so complicated that um complication causes chaos, and then chaos causes confusion. So now you're all discombobulated. Now you all spun around. Now we have these social constructs to where you know what's a male, what's a female, which political party is right and wrong, what's family, what a race is superior. If you don't got this amount of money, you're broke, you're non-existent. What is beauty? What's ugly? What's cute? Yeah, because it's all a deep rooted ambition in the human genetics, whether you're black, white, purple, or green. I feel like we all see these social constructs as we, go throughout life, such as like you see the bully at the playground. Nobody wants to mess with him because he's bullying people, because he's, making his presence felt as a social construct, because now you're fearful of what may happen to you if you antagonize the bully, or if the bully comes your way, you have to submit to what he's you know, um, doing, because you're fearful of what he's done to other kids. That's a social construct in people's mind, that you have to subscribe or you have to submit to what a bully's doing. And the tail, like the B side of that, is you standing up for yourself. That's also a social construct, because it's almost like a split screen, or a double minded, or double entendre, like, or a metaphor is different. Is, you can say one thing but mean something else, or life can be a certain way but underlyingly, be something else. And I feel like, the best way to kind of like combat that is be uniquely you. The best thing that you can be in a world where you can be anything is yourself. So I definitely feel as if with all these things, doing what works best for you and staying out of other people's way of living if it's not directly affecting you. If it's directly affecting you, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't do something, say something, but also as another social construct, speaking up for yourself. Like I just used the example of like the bully. Sometimes we kind of get to the point to where we don't know what's up, what's down, what's left, what's right because of how, things are socially constructed. So is this, I will recommend, I always try to not talk so definitively in a way that, if you comment under this video, say, hey, I feel like, ooh, I'm not finna be like, nah, because I said that. That's why I tell you guys, share these videos, comment, interact with the page because you know what that brings. It makes you part of the conversation, make you part of the channel when you comment, when you share, when other people get involved, it creates different topics that I can talk about. But when certain things aren't done a certain way, or maybe you guys are shy. I get it. I was one shy too, but yeah, definitely interact. But again, like that just speaks to just all these social constructs that underliningly we kind of just default, just kind of just live in. But I feel like what God really put on my heart lately is um really pertaining to this topic with the social constructs is the social restrictions within these constructs. And what I mean by that is with anything that you do, there are restrictions to it. It's not competition. It's not necessarily an obstacle. There's restrictions. You don't walk up to a electric fence like, let's say you want more electricity in like your house. You don't walk up to electric fence head first or run up to it, and try to touch it to try to, up the volts, for like your house because what you're restricted by this fence, or a prisoner who wants to escape prison because of the harsh realities of being socially restricted from society. You're behind a wall and about 4 or 5 fences, some that are covered with barbed wire at the top. They got the motherfucking guard, they got the guard towers, they got all these restrictions. Can't, you know, escape prison, even though some do, but they're taking chances. And I feel like where we as society, another social construct is, I wouldn't necessarily say we set the bar so high, but we are amazed by people walking on the moon when there's so much that can be done on Earth. Like, and I say that to say, even though it takes a great deal of effort to get anything in life, we shouldn't misappropriate, we shouldn't look past the degree of difficulty or the steps that needs to be taken in order to get the bare minimum. There's so much that could be done to get things simplistic that we're so amazed by how things are socially constructed to where, oh man, like, Brian was raised by a single mother, she worked 2 or 3 jobs and now he's a billionaire. That's one, those are a few footsteps on the moon. I get that we want to have something to inspire us. Overstand that. With anything you need inspiration, you need a reason to paint your canvas. But at the end of the day, that's a social construct. People want it to make it seem as if you can do it, which you can, but again, you are an individual, and everybody has their own journey. No matter what you may think about anybody's story, their story is, I feel like, it's pre-written. Now, can it be edited? Yes. But your destiny, I feel like, is just that. Like, there is really no, like, you can, let's say, for like example, like you using the GPS, you're trying to go to Florida, right? You can take different routes to get to where you need to go, but the destination don't change. That's what I'm trying to say. No matter what, I feel like God destined Brian to be an athlete. Rather he was a volleyball player, a football player, basketball player, because he was multi-talented in different sports. So he was destined to be an athlete. Now, once he, figured out the route in which he was going to head, okay, I'm gonna pursue basketball completely. The rest was history, right? Same thing with anything that we do. We kind of want to get off course, or we want to do things that are comfortable. But like I was saying, as far as this, um, what I've been feeling and what I have seen so predominantly, whether it be my YouTube channel, whether it be my TikTok, whether it be my music, you have to pay a, a price that you know society makes it seem like, oh, you don't want it bad enough. Anybody who knows Raymond, anybody who knows who I am, knows that my mind, especially now, like, but let's say when I was like 18, 19, I had to kind of get myself going. But once I'm going, I'm going. Now it don't take nowhere near as much as it once took to get myself going, because I feel like through experience, through different hardships, I'm able to go, like, to go after the things that I want. But what I do have now that I didn't have back then is discernment. Um, reasonable like reasonable experience. I didn't have that when I was 18, 19. I was just, if you said run through a wall, I'm not thinking about the impact it's gonna have upon my being to run through this wall. I'm gonna just run through the wall because somebody said run through the wall, or because I really, really, really wanted this so bad that I'm really going to deconstruct myself so that I can be part of the social construct of whatever I'm trying to do. Trying to not necessarily fit in, but I want a social improvement for me, trying to pursue something that I really want. So, but that's a part of growing up. But fast forward to right now, with anything that you do, you have to realize it's socially constructed to be socially restricted. That's, in a nutshell, that's what I'm trying to say. Anything that you socially want to do, is socially, like, the social constructs are socially restricted. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying nothing that you want to pursue is not doable. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is just know what comes with what you're doing. And you have to figure out, okay, is this something that is part of my destiny? Or is this something that, God want me to just experience? But this is not going to be my main thing. Like, and that's perfectly fine, because like I said, in my first few videos of, about me trying to join, like, about the Navy, and the fact that that didn't work, I didn't know what to do because that was my identity. But fast forward to now, me being a podcaster, me being the DJ, me being a husband, me being a father, me being a hard worker, and this and third. Like, these are really what my identity was supposed to be. But even with that being said, some people may say that was socially constructed. And I feel like, um, in that sense, I don't necessarily believe that, but a lot of what I may have said, people may interpret it. Oh yeah, that is socially constructed because you are a black male. You had a child young. Most black people have kids. By age 21 or by age 20 or by age 18. You failed multiple times. But you kept going, and I don't like to put anything in like a box per se or categorize shit. um it's very limited things that I categorize, but I try not to put anything in a category because you're never supposed to leave anything to chance, because now you're you're judging a book by its cover. You look at me saying socially he should be failing but keeping up, but keep going, you know, versus he should be able to succeed and spread his success so that other people can have success. But also, in the same realm of the social construct, um, nobody looks at the spiritual construct of what your destiny is. Again, we try to make we try to make guys subservient. No matter what, you have a destiny. How you get there is how you get there. But we have to understand, and this is not my first time saying this on my podcast, in this realm of social constructs, you have to understand that you are here for a purpose. Whether you're a hobo, whether you're a musician, a podcaster, whatever the case may be, God has a purpose for everything. Even the flies that's buzzing in your ear when you're outside, from the trees that you walk past day in, day out, everything has uh, a origin and a reason for being here. Everything that you see that's naturally existing, not necessarily man-made, those are kind of a tool from a tool, if you catch my drift. But I feel like things that are organically constructed, organically just here, naturally exist, flourish the best because it's not trying to, you feel me, integrate itself into something that is naturally meant to be integrated, or it was integrated naturally already, so it don't have to be reintegrated into nothing else. You feel me? So it's just like the fact being like, we try so hard as humanity. I'm not categorizing as the white man try, or us as black people try, humanity in general, because one race may have kicked it off, but everybody I feel like has a hand in this social construct. Is not necessarily the Willie Lynch theory. It's not necessarily the Prince Henry theory. These manifest destinies. It's not necessarily that, because those were how many years ago? Those were centuries ago, damn near, with a lot of that shit. But because of how we still are socially constructed to walk that path without saying, okay, let me not subscribe to this shit. Let me be a individual, because when it's all said and done, it's all said and done. Whether I was black, white, gay, Mexican, non-binary, he, she, him, it's over with. It don't matter what you were, like, to people, to like others. Yeah, that's gonna matter. But when like the day of judgment comes upon you, whether you believe that or not, you're atheist, um whatever the case may be, non-denominational, non-religion, non-source base, just there's a time where you won't be who you are right now. You would be out of your being. You would be, whether you believe in a ghost, a spirit, a soul, energy, whatever the case may be. When you transition out of this being, you will have to stand in another realm, in either whatever you believe. You're restart life or whatever the case may be. I do feel like um, you have you have a task at hand, and it don't matter how much wealth you accumulated if the task at hand isn't accomplished. I feel like there are things that would be discussed with the source. There are things that would be discussed in whatever you believe. But also me feeling that way can be deemed a social construct as well. But let me challenge that social construct right here. Anything that you experience, whether it's good, bad, ugly, indifferent, is a experience. Two things can exist at the same time. Good and bad can both come from the same scenario. Those are experiences, right? So I feel as if when you look at how things manifest, how things naturally exist, how things are constructed naturally. I'm not talking about the social constructs, I'm talking about the natural constructs now. For like a little bit to kind of bring it home with the how religion is kind of factor into a social construct. When you look at things that naturally exist, right? That don't need to be programmed, don't need to be um, just programmed, constructed, whatever the case may be. There is no coding, there is no yelling. You don't yell at a tree and say, produce oxygen. You don't go up to a building and say, stay built. You don't. I don't go to my do rag and say stay a black do rag. Like it's naturally going to be a do rag, no matter what I do. Even if I strip it, it's still it's still a piece of a do rag. It's just broken down, but it's still constructed in the fabric in which it was constructed from. Even if I burn it, the particles is going to be naturally produced by a do rag. Things that naturally exist um, is something to study from that. It's something to take away from that. When you think about it, what brilliant being, what brilliant mind said, I'm gonna put abundance, more. I'm a 10 times, 20 times the resource of trees. My time kind of traveling around the United States is little as I done. You start to see how much land is really in the United States, how much open fields, trees, like I said on my trip to Atlanta, I didn't know it was so hilly. It's like a southern San Francisco. I didn't know it was like that. I didn't know it was so many trees down there. So it was just like um things like that where who thought to like do this? Who thought to have your heart naturally beat? You don't have to beat your chest every 5 seconds. Your heart naturally pumps blood. Your mind naturally thinks of different theories, different whatever, right? You naturally like things in your natural being naturally exist. So this whole theory and ideology of, oh, there is no greater being, there is no this and third, that alone should be dismissed after that little brief example. Like, and you can use a scientific meaning. Oh, well, it came from this and the third. Oh, it was part of the Big Bang. It was. But again, if you dig deeper into it, how from the word go, this has sustained the test of time with everything that has happened. Even if trees are cut down, more trees grow. It's something to be said about that. Things that naturally is gonna be, it will be. That's out of our control. Even though we try to make I'm very much sure there's artificial trees, there's artificial everything. But like I said, we try so hard. We we are in we're hell bent. We are in hot pursuit to make humanity as a whole God, and we're all leading that charge. I'm not saying that you're directly leading it or you're in the war room saying, "Okay, how close are we, boys?" No, I'm not saying. I, I'm not saying that you're doing that. When I say we, I mean humanity. Like we're part of humanity because we're human, right? I know I don't subscribe to making God subservient at all because I have to see him, So if I was partaking in that, then you know I know what's to come. But a lot of people feel like I'm gonna just get it in right now, and face judgment when if and when that happens, by all means. And that's something that is the beauty about living. That's the beauty about being having your own thought patterns and to kind of tie the social constructs and into what I just said, having your own thought patterns with all of these things: gender role, government, age, disability, family, fashion. These are all can be easily moved from what is society thinking versus to what you're thinking, right? And I've said this on my page, but before, as long as it's not, and I said it in this video actually, and I'm gonna say it again. As long as it's not directly affecting you, all these things can naturally exist, whether you like it or you don't like it. You don't have to subscribe to this social construct. I'm not saying go storm the Capitol. I'm not saying go out and hit a motherfucker because they're subscribing to it. Is like, and I feel like that's the biggest issue. Whether you agree with that or not, that's the biggest issue. We try to make others do mirror us. And like I said on the channel before, it can go a billion, a trillion, a zillion, a gajillion years. It would never, ever, ever, ever again be another you. Never, ever again. In this world now, whether you're a huge fan of Marvel and you believe in the multiverse, I somewhat kind of believe in the multiverse, but I'm talking about in this world, there will never be another you. I can't bring Raymond from world 101 into this world. If that's even a thing, I can never like it would never be another Raymond Dotson Jr. in this world. So again, remember that when you're subscribing to certain things, um, whatever you feel is right and wrong, understand that a lot of it comes from your experiences, right? It's so much that I would love to discuss with people who have hurt me, people who have emotionally disengaged me, but my experiences with people who have not experienced me to my entirety, I can have those conversations. But that don't mean that my life stops or I'm not supposed to can continue to move forward and push the narrative. But also I have to complete my task. So in the realm of these social constructs, like I said, you have a task. You have a reason for being here. These are all I feel like are side missions to again, make God subservient and make things to the point to where, oh man, you know what? I'm not, here for like a reason. Let me disrespect somebody feeling like they were born, even though they were born a man. Let me shit on them for thinking that they're of a female, and not just shit on them. Let me make a post about it. Let me go to all the gay clubs and mock them. Let me hurt them. Let me kill them. It makes zero sense because at the end of the day, you have a task. At the end of the day, and I say that because when you're in your purpose, it's like automatic GPS. You just flowing. When things start to happen, you can see God. You can see God just operating. You don't have to be like, man, like when's my next blessing? Like the the blessings are just happening. It's like somebody's laying down steps and you just walking up like, whoa, like and it's therapeutic is so amazing to like see that where like you feel like you're 10 steps behind and God lay down 100 steps for you, and we kind of got to get back into not necessarily religion, but back into ourselves, back into what's not necessarily comfortable, but what makes the most sense and what's the most neutral and natural way of viewing things versus subscribing to all these social constructs that whoever the powers that be, the dope man, the white man, whoever, be an individual. You can be in tune to multiple things at once. You can is like the world is like a farmer's market. You can go to different vendors and oh okay, you don't have to purchase nothing. You can just view. You can just view. You can just browse. You can just oh okay, all right, bro. Like you don't have to. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Like you don't have to do that because eventually what happens is that bag get too heavy, meaning your mind get too heavy, and you don't know what's real and what's not. So to wrap things up, to kind of give you a snapshot on everything that was just said. Social constructs are pretty much things that humanity has put into place to establish order, to establish hierarchy, to establish different things to make things make sense for humanity, or to make things make sense for different groups, and is impacted in different ways with different groups. And to counteract that or to look at it from a different angle is find out what works best for you and yours. Find out who you are. Explore the best versions of who you are. Whatever you feel like pursuing, knowing that these social constructs can restrict you. It can. I'm not saying don't pursue it, but I want you to understand that people are socially constructed to believe, to perceive you a certain way. So if it's something that you are comfortable with pursuing, but you have to degrade yourself for it, I would think long and hard about, okay, do I really want to pursue this? Even though I'm still at it, you got to have those hard conversations with yourself and with God, whether you believe in God or not. You got to have those tough conversations with yourself to really be like, okay, man, is this something that is really what I need to be doing? Because it seemed like it just so happened things are just going a certain way to where okay, maybe I not necessarily give up on this, but I may need to look a little bit deeper into what I'm doing, or look a little bit deeper into these social constructs to be like, okay, well, maybe this is not the right time to do this, because things are a certain way. And again, you may look at that as an excuse, doubt, fear, and it's not that. I like to view that as being socially aware, being aware of what's going on, being aware of your environment, being aware of your market, versus this. Because eventually, what would happen is you would get to a point to where you will get so worked up that things are not taking place because these social constructs that you see people crashing out, you see people shooting up schools, you see people going postal at work because the bottom line is not met because of the social construct. Um, this that, and the third is not happening at home because of the social construct. So you have to be well aware of these social constructs so that you can construct yourself accordingly. So that's how I feel about the social constructs in society and within like the world. So I pray something was said on today's episode to help you get through the rest of your week and through this journey called life in general. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment. I don't care what you comment, man. You can comment first. You can comment something negative. You can dislike the video. Interact with the page. Like, share, subscribe. I can't say that enough. Hit the notification bell, man. Like, stay in tune with DJ Scotty 2 Dotty, man. So that you're not missing none of these drops. And I may have something special in the works for the channel too. So stay tuned for that. And lastly, the last order of business, again, from now until the end of 2025, I'm strictly a commission-based DJ. So you need me at your events, at your function, tap in. Like, share, and subscribe this video so others can tap in on that free commission based opportunity. And I'm hoping very, very soon to get my DJ page up so I can upload my mixes. I have about 30 of them motherfuckers, you know, ready to roll out. And you can kind of see, how I have gotten better with like my mixes. And I can't wait for, that. But and to then, um it is gonna be what it is. But yeah, again, I hope something was said, something was heard today to help you get through life and this this week. But yeah, man. Until next time, man. This is DJ Scotty 2 Dotty. I'm signing off. Peace.